Do what makes you feel alive.
The purpose of life is to live it.
Live the life of your dreams.
Albert.
Einstein! May I have your autograph, sir? I want to be a scientist just like you.
According to Albert Einstein, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. We've been told that to live life with a purpose, we need to adhere with the things that we love to do and to never let any obstacle hinder our way towards doing it. Well, life is a journey of tenacity. But as a youth, are you really living your life to the fullest? According to national data, more than 42% of Filipinos are under 18 years old and poised to become influential participants in Philippines' democracy. However, youth enthusiasm is frequently met with barriers as young people are marginalized from political processes.
By the way, what do you mean by democracy?
The word democracy itself means rule by the people. Everyone in the group gets an equal say in what happens to the group. We have guaranteed rights. Laws are enforced equally, fairly, and consistently, and no one is above the law.
There is a dictatorship. We vote every now and then and have political parties.
It relies on notions that voters are educated and the candidates, that voters' concern is not for parties, but themselves, and voters understand the consequences of elections.
After all, you should be able to vote for whoever you want, regardless for the political parties.
While democracy might function with less or even zero reliance on political parties, and particularly without costly and potentially corrupting political campaigns, if we would all unite to take a step towards expressing our practical involvement.
Aristotle called politics the leading science because it is the way societies decide priorities between everything else. To deny young people knowledge of how the system works excludes them from the democratic process, just as not teaching reading would exclude them from the world of books.
Too often, the media emphasizes in a presidential election leaves a little room to scrutinize candidates for the other official. So, voters know a little more than a candidate's party affiliation.
Part of the approach of fact-checking is the awareness of the cognitive biases innate to each of us. While these biases help us navigate everyday life, they can cause us to overlook relevant facts, even when they are clearly presented. The seemingly innocent act of sharing misinformation can have unintended and pernicious consequences. If news outlets or editorial sites report misinformation without fact-checking it first, misinformation can become fake news. At its worst, fake news undermines democracy.
How can we address this?
The youth should follow a diversity of news sources and be skeptical of what they read and watch. Everyone should help in debunking fake news. The ability to respond critically to online propaganda, misinformation, and fake news is more than a safeguarding tool. However, it is also an important democratic competence in its own right.
As a youth, we need to encourage our countrymen to get rid of the dynasties of our political system, or at least limit them to a minimum where they can no longer block the path to progress.
For some, political affiliation or interest is not part of their self-expression. When measuring someone's propensity to vote, it matters whether that person is interested in politics or sees politics as something central to their sense of self. In accordance with that, I can't tell you how many people spend their lives complaining. They complain about the government, the president, the Congress, and every other government official. But the problem here is this. These complainers don't do anything about it. They don't bother to watch the political debates on TV, read the news analysis on various candidates, or even vote. They rationalize their lack of doing anything about their complaints by saying it wouldn't do any good anyway. So how can we address this?
As a youth, you need to use your own voice. You need to earn your right to campaign. If there's a particular issue or a problem, you can campaign. This raises the awareness of the issue, which means that other citizens will understand it better. But how?
Through peaceful protesting.
Writing letters to officials.
or joining an activist or interest group.
If you continuously campaign about an issue, this increases the chances of that issue being addressed by the government.
While discourse and critical thinking are essential tools when it comes to securing progress in a democratic society, but in the end, unity and engaged participation are what make it happen.
A comet is born in the outer realms of the universe, but it's only when it ventures too close to our sun or to other stars that it releases the blazing tail behind it and shoots brazen through the heavens.
Meteors become sucked into our atmosphere before they burst like firecrackers and realize that they're shooting stars.
Part Earth and Sea.
With some salt and dust swimming in them.
We have a universe within ourselves that mimics the universe outside.
We're never wrong and always right.
No one exists without polarities.
And even the smallest changes in our daily routine can create incredible ripple effects that can expand our vision of what is possible.
I thought time seems to fly, never travel, that one day at a time. Thus, each day is a new opportunity to experience your rights.
Therefore, as a youth,
Do what makes you feel alive.
Live the life of your dreams.
but never forget to regard the society surrounding you. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.